Hi, everybody. My name is Mike Manning.
And I'm Trinity French.
And we're your business coaches at Wired to Change.
With the number 2.
We help you get your business where you want it to be so you can enjoy the life of a small business owner.
And we're here today with oh my gosh, I've got a frog in my throat.
So bad.
Dang it. Because we're here with David Riddell of Big Frog with a location in Durham and 2 in Asheville. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. That was perfect. It's like to have a frog in your throat was not intentional or not, but perfect timing.
And I was going to ask you, how good is your life as a small business owner because you bought a 3rd dog?
Yes.
What the hell?
I am a freaking idiot.
Do you have any dogs?
We have a Jackrabbit Terror. Right? It's like they're all hyper all the time, and I'm hyper all the time. So you think, great, we'll keep up. But the 16-year-old cat doesn't want to keep up. He wants to go over there and sleep like a teenager.
Yeah. Well, the puppy is very puppy-like. I forgot. I think I had just, blacked out all of the shit that you go through. Literally, like, he poops, he pees.
Yeah, anywhere.
He's annoying.
He's a baby.
He's a baby, yeah.
Done.
So, yeah.
Wearing her out,
even
too.
Every other day, my poor husband, Scott, every other day, I'm like, I love the puppy. I hate the puppy. I love the puppy. I hate the puppy. So he hears it from me. But he loves the puppy full time. So at least he's happy. And we've determined that it's his dog.
Yes.
So I'm like, go
So
for
you
it.
have a dog walking franchise without the franchise then, because that's all you do. Somebody does.
Yeah,
Okay.
somebody every 2 hours, that little sucker needs to go out.
Do you take all 3 of them for a walk at night?
We do.
How does that go?
It's getting a little better. So the first couple of walks we took him on, he did amazing and totally, I thought, oh my gosh, this dog's a genius. He's such a good walker. And then he got comfortable with the pack.
Yeah.
And now he tries to attack the other dogs while we're walking.
Yeah, he's got cover.
Yeah.
Right? Got 2 other dogs with him.
So
I dare you.
Yeah.
One of
Spike.
us will take 2 dogs and the other one will take the puppy. Yeah. And we do, our coverage is
nice.
You got the whole
done.
road, 2 sidewalks in the middle.
Yes.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
But yeah, puppy life, business owner life, writing an offer today, going to show some houses. We had an amazing coaching client this morning.
Yes, we did.
I love Thursdays. Thursdays are like our favorite day of the week.
Friday Eve. It's perfect.
Friday Eve, yes.
Because we do coaching in the morning, B&I at noon, podcast in the afternoon. It's just, it's worked out well.
I need to sign up for that because mine's a little harder than that.
Yep.
Wow, I want your life.
We talked, it was 2 weeks ago because I wasn't here last week. It was 2 weeks ago. You had the closing with the lender from hell. Without giving names, did they ever, was there ever any post-close feedback or did they care to know what you thought?
They could have cared less.
Yeah, all right.
Could have cared less.
If you know anybody buying a house here in the market, because you're in Asheville and Durham, have them call Trinity. But if they don't use Trinity, call Trinity to find out what lenders not to use.
Yeah.
It's a lender issue? Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
So who shall go nameless. So
Okay.
right. So 1 store in Asheville, 1 in Durham.
Correct. 2 stores total.
Well, how did that come about?
So whenever you're thinking about what to
and
do.
Before that.
Oh, yes.
Because people know I had a frog in my throat, couldn't get the name out. But what the heck is Big Frog?
So
for those
a Big
that don't
Frog
know?
custom T-shirts. I mean, by name, the 3 founders that started the original store, the main guy who had run a major corporation, he had built a business and sold it and was supposed to retire. And this married couple that worked for him said, let's do this, and that led to Big Frog. And they used to call him Big Dog. Well, 15 years ago, there was a sporting goods retail, like in the outlets called Big Dog, and it had apparel that was dog related, like Babe Ruff and some other things. So they couldn't use Big Dog. And so Frog was short, simple, fun, and that's where that came from. So that's the name. From what is a Big Frog custom T-shirts, we are apparel branding experts. Everybody prints, right? You can buy embroidery and screen printing online. Every Etsy account, everybody prints. We have a retail-based showroom which is one distinct advantage, with free design, which is two distinct advantages, having the third type of print, which is called direct-to-garment, which allows us to print one at a time, full color detail, which wasn't around when we grew up because screen printing is always bulk. So now you can come in, and our job's to help you, whether it's the one gift for somebody or business branding, what's the right fit, budget. I mean, what fits your budget, your style, and your brand? And I mean, how are you marketing, or what do you need it for, and not just hope that it's going to work out? And free design saves you money. Getting to touch and feel, sing and dance, and try things on and get samples. Is all cool. And so it is a franchise of 85 locations. There's a Raleigh, Durham. North Raleigh is separately owned, but I have Durham and Asheville. I was corporate retail district manager for 25 years. So when you decide or get voluntold from your corporation that you've aged out or something, however you find your path to entrepreneurship, you must figure out which direction you're going to go. So your path is, nobody will let me go back. So what's my forward? And then you can pick your own company, start your own thing like you two, or you can find your way to franchising, and it's at each his own. And so I wanted, because I came from a corporate structure where I would bend rules that fit my district and my people and me, but still follow a corporate flow, that made sense. And the biggest things in retail or in franchising are auto, I don't care, fitness, don't care, cleaning, which you're pretty much a salesperson, and then you hire somebody with a broom.
Been there, done that. Yeah.
Right. And you did that. There's some landscaping ones. There's food, which is the evil empire by how much you need to get in, the restrictions, the health codes, the people, the hours, etc. And then there's retail. Ding, ding, ding. Who worked retail? So based on who we are, then I get this, retail showroom, and I know HR because I had 15 to 30 stores and would have to do that. I know merchandising, marketing more, operations, workflow. My wife's a payroll bookkeeper, so that life is easy. Franchise teaches you what you want to, and design, I can glue macaroni on construction paper, but I can't design. But guess who can? Tens of thousands of people who got out of college with a degree that, like my broadcasting degree, only matters if you have experience. So I get to I get to teach you some business stuff, find a client, get a client back when you've messed up, cost of goods, etc. You get to design, and we're both going to be happy because you're going to help me grow my business. I'm going to give you pay, resume material when you leave. Yep. And actual real life working experience that's not just sitting in a room designing something. So it works out perfect. You have the four prongs come together. And so that's the journey and the what is Big Frog, but being able to do one shirt or thousands and being able to help people brand, even if it's for a memorial shirt. I was just talking to somebody on the team, when I was pulling in, and it's like, we do tons of those. Scan a full photo and everybody wears it at the funeral. You're making smiles even in a bad situation.
See a lot of those on family reunion cruises.
Yes. Yeah, and the reason you can do that now is screen printing is one stamp on top of the shirt. And if you have the 2-year-old, the 5-year-old, the 12-year-old, and the 30-year-old, or whatever, what fits on a youth is a postage stamp on us. So direct to garment, you can print from the newborn to the 4X, and the print's going to expand, and you get to do photos, which screen printing is a couple of colors, setup charges, ink charges, and it's just so cool that, yes, the 50th wedding anniversary, where here's the black and white. Right? Somebody passed away, they all wear it. Or somebody's graduating college, and look at him as a cute baby, and we're all embarrassing him at his graduation. Whatever it is, it's a cool thing that we didn't have. And it's nice as a business owner to be able to provide that, because where it matters from business is that somebody can, if you're reselling, you don't have to buy 200 and keep them in a closet and hope you got the right sizes and the right color. Every Monday, it's, can you replenish me on? If you're a small business growing, I hired a dude, can you give me 5 of them? Or, hey, I've got Norm or Cliff, right? The dude that's at the bar, that favorite client that you know by heart. and I want to get them some special love. And then if you have uniform shirts that you screen printed because you're a big enough company and you screen printed them, fine, but now you have an event. And instead of just, it's the chamber bowling tournament, it's the walk, and instead of just slapping on the thing, you want to get 20 that have your logo but customized to that event. That's what direct-to-garment allows us to do. And so different options than the industrial park screen printer or the of course online, because you can touch and feel and see things. And when we were just talking
Which
to
is great.
the man behind the curtain, right? It's like that's branding.
Yeah, we had ordered some shirts for our real estate company and did not get samples of the shirts beforehand. And when the shirts came in, they were supposed to be really soft, which they were. The fabric was amazing, but the sizing was ridiculous. The size small, like my assistant at the time was the tiniest little girl ever, and the size small on her fit like a wetsuit.
Well, and you know how ladies shop better than we do. We've watched it, but you've lived it. You go over to the rack and think I'm this size, and you're flipping through, and something catches your eye, and you pull it up. And I mean, one of two things happens. It's either, whoa, that's not what the glimpse was, or there is no way that's a medium, that's a double X, or that's an extra small. So shopping online is, even though that's the world we live in now, I can do it from my underwear and get something 2 days later. It's pretty tough, and screen printers, oftentimes I can get, what's it going to take to get you in a new shirt today? And it's because they have all of these closeouts behind them, right? And the shirt's going to be $4, and we'll say the shirt's going to be $8, and somebody's going to say, well, you lose. And I'm like, but when you look down here, it's like, and we added this, and we added this. You just saw the line item up here instead of, well, screen printing has setup charges per color, per quantity, per side. Embroidery has a one-time setup forever. Direct-to-garment doesn't. Slap the shirt down, hit the button, it's computer screen to print, and that's what we were talking about. So it's nice for us to offer advantages. And when you talk about somebody who does old-school TV, radio, or all of the social media stuff from Google AdWords through Facebook and Instagram to now we're TikToking and whatever the youth is doing. There's plenty of ways to market. But if you're wearing your logo like I am, anywhere you go. So you sit down at a restaurant and here's your logo on your chest. You put the jacket down on the thing, and now they see it that way, right? Then you've got the hat and the hoodie on the weekends, and you've got the T-shirt at the gym, and anywhere you go, this is seen. Because billboards, they say billboards are great. Yeah, only if you stop and see it. But people
at
are
70 miles an hour,
right?
too,
And everybody's so busy speeding, dodging traffic, yelling at the kids, picking up the food, turning the radio channel and playing on their phone, that do you see any of that? But standing next to somebody in a line, there's the logo. So branded apparel matters. And if you can get 5 polos and you're 200 in, you can't really get good advertising for that. Now you're everywhere you go. You're seen.
Have we had, I don't think we've had a franchisee on.
No, I have lots of questions
Good.
about franchise.
I was right there
Franchise
too. So,
questions.
yeah, fire away.
And I know Mike asked, it's like, and I mentioned it, how do you get there? And being the retail guy, again, I only know what I know. I know corporate says you will do this. Now, oftentimes corporations will go, and this, and this, and this, and it doesn't matter if sales are great and the people love you. You missed a sign. Well, there's still a structure there. And that's what franchises provide, the whole actually kit in a box to get you there, and all of the support if you're willing to pay the percentage of. And if I write a check for tens of thousands of dollars to them, then I get to say to them, and it was the mentality I use as a district manager, I don't exist without their guidance and their franchise model, but they don't exist without my royalties.
Exactly.
So I shouldn't sit back and wait for them to tell me what to do. I'm supposed to have a say in it. I can't back out of my store or paint it purple, but I can say time out. And I'm on my second term as Franchise Advisory Committee, which is voted on by peers. All franchises have it, which now you get to help that symbiotic relationship between the two.
Oh, that
the
sounds
field
like
and,
fun.
and corporate. That's really cool to me because it's the role I came from in middle management.
When you were looking at leaving corporate America, getting into franchise, Did you also explore non-franchise opportunities or
No, because I didn't know which way to go.
Okay.
I guess what I heard on Facebook or LinkedIn last year is you spend your whole life climbing the corporate ladder only to find out it's up against the wrong building, right? And in our generation at 20-something, we're skipping rungs and we're doing that's all we know. This generation, you almost get envious and mad at the same time, like they're just chilling. And that's very cool that they can just chill. And when's the weekend? And I don't need a picket fence, and I don't need a corporate ladder. With us, it's yeah, and you're doing it. So because I was so beat into submission, that's all I knew. I knew that they give you the model. Well, they tell you everything. So I had to have that guidance and that structure. And then the things that I knew that, I can give them a quarter raise without a 3-hour process of writing a review, or I can have pizza, or you know what, we can just close, or I can make up this sale price. All of the things that go, wait, it's 100% mine. And even in a franchise, in COVID, when I lost tens of thousands of dollars, they might have not charged us royalties on the money I didn't do, or a tech fee, but guess what? It's like they weren't paying me back. Whereas in corporate, if you're on salary and it snows and you miss a week, then you're still getting paid. Yeah. So you have to take the model and go, ooh, yeah, it's all me. So I only knew the structure, and my wife being a bookkeeper and payroll, she only knew X's, O's, digits.
When you found Big Frog before you signed any contracts, did you think, going back to Trinity's question, did you think, you know what, we could do that on our own?
In that case, no, because I joked that I don't know how to design. And anything printing, if you don't come from that world, retail world is the truck backs up, you stock the shelves, you merchandise it well. What did I know about that world? I needed help. We wouldn't have found that otherwise. The ones we were looking at are, when you look at the franchise that does Play It Against Sports and a couple other consignment places, those are 100% retail, and I could probably do that on my own. There's one cool franchise that has this rock and roll putt-putt place that's inside, which and you go, could probably do a putt-putt place. So there's some of those, but when you're going through the thousands of things on FranGator, and then you just come across the retail ones, there was something intriguing about this. The two, other than the in-store differential that I mentioned about Big Frog, the two other ones are service must be amazing. And Walmart and Amazon have murdered our thoughts of old school. Like Sam Walton is probably rolling over going, what happened to America? And because everything's gotten so big, we've forgotten that small business was the backbone of America. Well, COVID is waking people up to going, wait a minute, look at all of those people out. And so you have to have amazing service, because you're not stopping and looking at the little shirts in the little room on the wall, and then the screen printer unveils 2 weeks later as Wizard of Oz, like you said about, in your story. So you get that situation where service is great, has to be great, and then community outreach. That's the outside difference with us. Be on a nonprofit board, go to a billion networking things, give back to schools, have this discount, and being community involved is the differential in us, because you don't want to die and somebody goes, dude died, he owned a store. No, they were something more, because when I looked at Big Frog as, so I'm opening a store. Nobody cares. Because how many Etsy options are there? Custom ink and all the online. There's already 40 screen printers in Durham and 40 in Raleigh that have been around longer. So how do we? Again, at the beginning I said we help you brand and give you the answers. We have to print. That's understood. But I don't just print shirts. There's a whole process in there. There's the difference between customer service standards and a customer service process. The process starts as who you are and how you act in a networking thing. Hey, I trust this guy. I don't even know what he does, but I like this person, or I trust them. And then it translates to business, and it goes all the way through to not just the final product delivered, but to the how you check back in. So if you follow that, and that's the difference. I didn't know where to begin on our own.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the beauty of the franchise model and why so many people find it to be the way that they want to go versus starting something from scratch.
But the negative is, and we've lost 4 Big Frogs that have opened since my Asheville store in the last 4 years. And you've heard the numbers of businesses, whether franchise or not, how many fail in the first year and 3. And so you got open, you made it a year, you made it 5, and and like this one just hit 10. Big Frog Durham hits 10 this month. And you go, holy cow, because the fail rate is like 85% for 10 years. And Asheville hit 4, and both of those are hitting it through COVID, which is a once in a many generational thing, we hope. I think it's been 100 years since something close, but we've had 4 fail because the franchise gives you the template. If you've joined you guys are BNI.
Yeah.
You pay lots of money for a franchise that is BNI.
Yeah.
You are paying lots of money. You're paying more than a chamber to go. And if you just sit in that room, and I couldn't be in BNI because with 2 stores 4 hours away, they'd kick me out in about a month because I couldn't make it. But I've been to enough. The giver's gain concept isn't just I paid to be in BNI, so I better give and then I'll gain. That's called life. That's called being a good human, a good neighbor, a good citizen, a good everything. And that's how you win. Like if I can walk in a chamber and everybody knows me and maybe they don't know my name, I'm just Big Frog, I win. Yes, they've passed my truck that I've shamelessly wrapped the whole thing
I saw it in the parking lot.
And parked it, and it's not next to any car so that they can see it both ways. But a franchise gives you a template. You pay lots of money for them to get you to open, and then they give you support. But the 4 that closed either thought they could design and print and never leave the store to talk about it, or they were bad with people and never left the store to talk about it, or they thought because we're part of a franchise, it will rain money.
Right.
Yes, if you are one of the couple thousand Chick-fil-A owners that are more a partner than anything because the royalties, sure, lightning can strike, but you're a franchise. You have to hoof it with help.
You still have to work.
Right. And so you have to think about it as your life depends on it. I do validation calls all the time, and the question I got last week was, first question, can I make $100,000 the first year? No. And will I be home with my kids? The first 2 years, you have 3 dogs. Your life is not your own.
No.
Yeah.
Well, and
it's not
I
your
think
own.
it's that way and we talk to our clients all the time about the fact that when you're starting a small business, we are in coaching to help people get to the life of a small business owner, but you earn that over a matter of years. That's not something that just falls in your lap day one because you open your doors or sign the paperwork.
Correct. And you have to leverage whoever a group of frogs is called an army, right? And you have an army in whatever they are. If you don't have a stable family, it's tough when you're now out on your own, unless you're just single and that's all you want to do is spend 15 hours a day working. But you join a BNI to be a part of something, a chamber, a franchise. If you're not a franchise and you do it on your own, again, who's your army? Who's going to help you? Who do you learn from? And I stink as a Big Frog owner some days. Some days I just go, I still stink at this. I'm glad the designers know what they're doing and we still have scrap. There's another shirt, or, oh no, I misquoted and I lost some money, or wow, this P&L stinks, right? I'm years in still going, ugh. Well, that's right. That's the good. Yeah. And I attribute it to every time I make somebody a key holder in corporate America, I said, so what you're going to do at the end of the night is do all the 19 pages of checklist to close. And then you're going to count all the money and you're going to put it in the safe and you're going to lock the safe and you're going to check the doors and you're going to set the alarm and you're going to go out the front door. And if you're halfway home and it doesn't occur to you, if you aren't thinking, did I lock that? Then you failed. Okay. That at 4 years in. Now think about it as an owner. Every day is a middle of the night, holy cow, I could have, I should have, how to, and you can't stop learning. I've taken every chamber seminar, every small business seminar, Deborah Mathias here does her LinkedIn thing. I'm a member of Rockstar. I've been to every BNI as a guest, at least in Asheville. Why? Because you want to meet people because of community, because and if you're and then again, and I know I get off on tangents, but there's 3 types of people at an event: those that only came to see their friends and stand in the corner,
We know those.
The ones that do it right. If I could be talking to somebody I know and somebody comes over that they know, and now you met a new person and you have 3 to 5 good conversations. And then there's the person that thinks the business card is an invoice. If I can glad hand everybody, I can pass them out like they're water. I am making a sale right now.
Yesterday I do a Tuesday Facebook Live presentation. A friend of ours, Haley Gray, has a Facebook group called Women's Entrepreneur Network. And I've got the Tuesday at 11:30 slot. And that's the very thing I talked about, because we preach this intentional networking. We can talk about this another time. But I said, if you go to, first of all, go to the meeting, 0 expectations of closing a deal. Rarely going to happen. If you walk away with 2 set meetings, that's where the money's going to, you're gold.
Right.
You're gold. Because back in the day it was, look, boss, you go to work next day. Look, boss, I got 28 business cards. And not a drip of business.
The best chamber events, the most attended chamber events are those with the best food and the best alcohol. So if you're only going for that, you failed. If you're only going to make the sale, you failed. It's at some place with somebody hosting for a cause. Care about those. Meet people so you can learn. There's only so many realtors you can use in your life, and mortgage people. And the ones in B&I, the 4 coveted positions, right? Financial, realtor, mortgage, accounting. How many do you need of those? Like changing banks,
right?
And like buying houses. So you need them because they're people and their advice and their camaraderie. I mean, you don't, and they might buy. Sometimes you'll never get $1 out of them. Sometimes you might not get a referral. Sometimes you might not. All of those things a part of, because you've played it. And I've given seminars before, 3 or 4. I call it relationship marketing, because networking has some element of how quickly can I find the whale, as they say in Vegas. With me, it's the pebble makes the ripple, makes the this, makes the that, and it becomes the more you're involved. When I threw my ribbon cutting in Asheville, we had 350 people show up and 4 chambers, and nobody in Western North Carolina had done that, and all these hospitals are a member of every chamber. And the reason I did is because somebody said, you're making it not about you. You're having, because we had a mobile gem mine, a race car simulator, the Army, 15 businesses, took up the whole parking lot. You're making it not about you. Oh, no, it's perfectly about me, because I am community. Everybody's coming. I'm giving everybody else the spotlight. That's, unfortunately, small business. Nail places and haircut places and gyms don't have to do that. Just like some businesses survived COVID better than others. There are some that you just put them in the right place and you're okay. Food places can get 1,000 likes on Facebook in 3 months. So certain things but the majority of business owners, franchise or not, it's for 2 years, you live it, maybe longer, and it cannot be about open the doors and I'm here, come see me, and you're selling. It's bigger.
Money's going to magically appear in my bank account. Yeah.
I just like the fact that he mentioned Walmart and Amazon in one sentence, and this is an ongoing thing with us. I'm a huge Walmart fan,
and I hate
she
Walmart.
is a huge Amazon shopper.
Okay,
I love
you
Walmart.
Like the retail, and she likes the home.
I like the people watching.
Oh my God, it's the greatest thing. Sitting at that little bench outside the haircut place of the cashiers.
Next to the airport, Walmart is, those two are, in my world, head and shoulders above. But
and for me, I would rather pay more money for a better experience. And that is what, like, I will always go to Target over Walmart unless there's something.
But
I
Amazon,
can't get
there's
at
not
Target.
an experience.
But Amazon is. Amazon
Yes.
is about the best shopping experience you can ever get. I can sit at my house. I can order something through Prime. It shows up when it says it's going to show up. If I don't like it, there's 6 different ways for me to return it.
But that's not an experience. That's a convenience.
Well, hang on a second.
It's
My Tuesday
the process
Go
is
ahead.
the experience.
Yes.
They built
Okay.
a process that is the
Which is
experience.
what I said, bit different than
And
service.
if I need to return something and it's something that's not returnable or whatever, they'll actually message you and be like, oh, the produce was bad. Just we'll send you a new one and you keep it.
That's the experience. And believe it or not, that's my Tuesday talk next week is, are you an experience or a transaction? My experience is I get a people watch. I love that. And the pricing's good.
But you're a transaction at the register there.
Yes, but I don't care that. I don't go
I
for
know.
that. I just go for the people watching. And Trinity's experience with Amazon is, it's coming tomorrow morning. That's the experience.
Yes,
Right.
it's coming when they say it's going to come, and
where
it's
I
super
don't
easy
think
to return it.
Right, and I don't think Amazon gets credit, and I've heard this from other friends that are members, is exactly, throw it away, we'll send you another one. When's the last time you went to a big box store to return something?
Right.
It can be a hassle.
Well, let's turn that into business and think about your BNI, and I'll take it as a small business owner. There's in networking, your goal is to see somebody and meet somebody, and you may not remember everything about them. The next time you see them, hey, I remember you at, what was your name again? Then the next time, oh, now I know your face, now I know your name, and then eventually, called relationship building, you know them. So with your clients, and I say clients all the time. I hate the word customer because it's transactional.
Yes.
Now, we have a ton of them. We have people that will email and call in, and then when it's done, they'll send somebody in. And there are some big clients I've never even met. Or I've done a hospital and it's the one lady in the corner office, or it's the school where it's the secretary. And so there are transactional customers. But the clients are when they come in and they buy something, and then the next time you go, I mean, you either see the car pull up to the window, or you remember the name and you did the such and such. And then over time, it's how are the kids and what's the dog relationship? Because BNI I've visited, and you've got people that, again, like the networking, that are still there, the only to get the fanciest speech and let you finish the tagline at the end. They've all got the cutesy artsy line, and I do too. But I don't stop and make everybody say it before I finish it. And so you've got those that are, and then they forget what somebody does, and then they refer somebody outside their group, and because they haven't built the relationship with them.
And that's what it is. Yeah,
I get it. What both of you said, that you are, the experience of Walmart is amazing, but it's so transactionally disgusting, like at a Dollar General. The ease and convenience of shopping with Amazon, but the experience of, dude, they got it down. The other day, I had a client tell me, if Chick-fil-A and Disney could run this country right now,
we would
between
be,
the operational standards and the over-the-top, my pleasure, it's a small world after all. You'd go,
Well, and I was going to say, I'm a lifelong McDonald's guy. I grew up McDonald's. I purchase there now because I love their dollar menu. Taco Bell's catching them quick. Taco Bell's got some good stuff on their dollar menu.
For $5, you're a king.
I will go to Chick-fil-A because I get an experience. It's the same drive-through, same process. I get up there, I order, they say thank you, but I get to the pickup window and I get my pleasure. Have a nice day. Whereas McDonald's,
from a 16-year-old
Chick-fil-A,
kid that doesn't have a phone in their face, and you go, wow.
Exactly. But in McDonald's, I know what I'm going to get. More times than not, I've got to wait. When we went inside, I'd have to wait. But I knew that, but I'm only paying $1.
Right.
If I'm paying full boat at Chick-fil-A, I'm pissed. If I'm paying $4 at Chick-fil-A for the same thing, and I got to get your attention at the counter.
But Chick-fil-A is so consistent, you're paying the $10.50 because it's dead on them. And now that they've not opened nationwide, one lane's turned to two. And they're running with the iPad saying my pleasure, and they runners to bring you food. David, here's your tray. And wow, I don't get a refill though.
But the other thing with Chick-fil-A though, with the people out there, I have this 100% confidence my order's going to be correct.
At Chick-fil-A?
Yes.
Yeah, we were disappointed when they gave us, my daughter, last week, Diet Dr. Pepper, not real, first time ever.
Yeah.
And you know what they did? We can't touch this one, so you have a both. We'll give you another one.
Yeah.
And they don't care. And my daughter asked for 4 sauces. And you ask 4 sauces at McDonald's, they're charging you the little window. It's in the window. You only get 2 of the 10 piece.
Yeah.
You want 4, we're charging you 40 cents. My daughter goes, Chick-fil-A's got money. They can, because they're treating you right and they're getting the people.
You can have your sauce.
Because who's a national competitor of yours?
Custom Ink on the internet side.
Okay.
And then,
perfect example. I'm going to say right there. Okay.
They are the Amazon of shirts. You upload your thing and here it comes.
So you go to any fellow chamber company, and they've got the option of Custom Ink, which is Amazon, or they've gotten to know you. And let's say your prices are within $1.50. But they know you, they've seen you. Go back to your point about the relationship marketing and the referral marketing.
If
That's
I'll
why-
deliver, if they get samples, even if I'm a couple of more.
But that's why people should go out, and we keep begging everybody. People have got to see you, because referrals are from relationships, and relationships are frequency and recency.
Right.
I've not been on 3 martini lunch in almost a month, but I'm going next Tuesday.
I hosted an event and never made one of them because
Yeah.
I can't do.
But again, I feel like I haven't seen those guys in 3 months because I haven't been on them. I've just had conflicts. So it's just, but if you keep showing up, there's certain things people will pay extra for.
Well, there are people in Rockstar that I didn't know, I hadn't met, even though I host, but I knew exactly who they were. Yeah. You're playing 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, right? The old
or Dominic Battistella is what we do.
Seven
We pay 7
degrees
degrees
of Dominic Battistella.
Yeah.
Then you're or Joe Navarro or Joe Navarro, one of those guys, or Deborah Mathias, or doesn't matter who it is. Yeah. You start going, wait, I went to Wake Up Wednesday in Pittsburgh and saw them, and ooh, they're Apex Small Business. Ooh, they're on a Rockstar.
Oh yeah.
So Mike likes to talk sports and baseball. In football, the quarterback gets all the money and all the glory, and if you don't have one, you're not going to win, for the most part. In basketball, you can have 2 or 3 guys, and they can run the table. In baseball, which is our sport, you've got teams that have tried when the Yankees, which are the king daddy of baseball for 100 years, when they go into their buying phase and pay top dollar for everybody, they don't win because there's no chemistry. But when they had that 10-year run where every single one of them came up together,
and all those guys came up,
and so it becomes a chemistry thing. And the coach was never a superstar himself. He was like the bench warmer minor leaguer, but he's a better leader than he was a player, because there's a famous basketball player from this area that's kind of the best basketball player in the world that's not a good executive, because he and his little brother Isaiah Thomas, those two are amazing. But as executives, they're horrible because they didn't know how to coach. They were the guy. Danny Ainge and Joe Dumars, which were these great role players, knew to give it to the superstar. Yeah. And that matters in, I have my franchise to rely on and pass the ball when I need it.
The other flaw with Jordan, though, is he surrounds himself with all of his buddies. So you cannot win if you've got yes man all around you.
And he did that. He did that when you watch the new Bull, the 8-part Bulls series.
Horrible manager.
But here, your BNI, if you're in it for the I, then it's not going to get there.
Right.
If you're in it for the N, then you have a team. Who do I pass the ball to? Who picks me up when I'm down? Who? And that's Chambers, BNIs, Rockstar Connect. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter. For a franchise, your church, the people in your shopping center. And then the other side of small business is, other than going in saying, okay, it's not a lot of hard work, the money's going to just flow, I have customers instead of clients. The other, if you don't reach out for help, then you're just not going to get there. They don't realize the length of time.
We had this conversation with one of our clients this morning, because I think there are times when we have coaching clients that feel bad about being a coaching client. And because they feel like, as a small business owner, they should have it all figured out. They should know exactly what it is that they need to do. And
no, you're good at one thing.
Yeah, and
hire smarter than you.
There's so much relief when we tell them that, we have coaches. We don't have it all figured out. Like,
my failures are because I don't know, and I'm stubborn. My strengths are when I knew to hire better than me. I knew when to leverage my resources.
This morning with our client. Yeah. And the other thing Trinity does and preaches is she collects people.
I do.
And you cannot lose with those resources around you and the strong relationships she's built. We laugh at least every third episode that she sold houses to 2 of her ex-boyfriends. 2 were at her wedding. But those are the relationships, going back to your point, when you have that village, that community, rarely are you going to lose.
I had to fire a couple managers or assistant managers when I was a district manager, and they are actually close to me 15 years later because they might have stomped away then, but then they realized
that it wasn't personal,
right?
And when you do something with dignity, and when you treat people with respect, even if it's a relationship that's not working, then there's no reason to leave it in such a way that there's any hatred or animosity. You know,
Right.
I was known at Hunter O as being the person that would fire someone and they would give me a hug and thank me as they were walking out the door.
Yeah, that's what it was. And I mean, because it's how you treat people, you can still, you can fire them badly, or you can let them go and they can understand why.
Exactly.
And you were probably right on why they were being fired, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, they may not believe it at the time, but they do come back to you under understanding. And it's 100% relationships, and too many people keep missing that in the social. And you can still have relationships with the newfound world of social media, or we've Zoomed so much without going anywhere lately. It's how you treat them, how they look at you beyond something. I mean, are you the resource in your community? Are you the helpful hand? Are you there when they need you for whatever reason? And sometimes you can't give out. I mean, like, you can't give away a free house, but you can give of your time. You can give of, I mean, sometimes it's money. What drove me crazy is his favorite place in between the restrooms at Walmart says, look at how community we are. We wrote a check, we wrote a check, we wrote a check. That's not community. That's writing a check.
That's writing a check. Yeah. It's totally agree.
Hey, I'm not changing my mind. Still a Walmart fan.
No, it's still great people watching. The
love
dress
the
code at
people.
Walmart is unbelievable.
That's what I love about it.
Oh, gosh.
There's 3 of everything, and just a families. I love
There's
Walmart.
nothing worse than when you're walking through Walmart and you do a double take because you're like, is that person wearing pants?
No,
and you realize that
They're wearing their mask, though. They don't need pants. It doesn't say that on the door.
Oh, gosh. So gross. Well, David, this has been an absolute pleasure. If somebody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way for them to reach you?
I don't think Googleable is a word, but we are easily Googleable. I mean, Big Frog Durham. It's like our brand new smoking hot website from last week's going to come up, and I mean, it's Big Frog Durham. It's Durham at Big Frog is email. Google page, Facebook page, Instagram page, all the same thing. And again, come and be a part of something in the store rather than just hit the button.
Is it the same for your Asheville store, Big Frog Asheville?
Big Frog Asheville.
Right.
If, I mean, for the mighty reach, and again to plug the brand, there is a Big Frog of North Raleigh, so we don't have as many
Is
in
that
this
a competitor
state.
of yours? I can edit that out.
When
if it
we
is.
opened, they said when they opened, my manager goes, they're going to hurt us. I said, they're 30 minutes and 500,000 people away.
Right.
You can have 2.
There's
a Dollar General on every corner. There's a bank. There's a storage facility. There's a McDonald's fight themselves. And so where Walmart goes, Target goes, where Lowe's and Home Depot, same thing.
And then Amazon eventually.
There's
shows
enough
up.
of them. Love your competitor.
Yeah.
The others don't leverage that either.
So if you loved this episode, we would be honored if you go out there and share us with your friends, your family, and even those people that you're like, they probably should hear from us too.
But they need to be smarter.
They need to be smarter, and we
them.
know that we can be there. So we will talk to you next time on our Wired to Change podcast.